If you think you're too busy to meditate, or you've perhaps decided that it's not quite right for you, then I'm going to help you today with something a little bit different that's going to feel much more accessible. And these are called Nano-Breaks. These are brain breaks that are under 60 seconds that you can do at any point in the day. They're great for when you're in the middle of work or when you just get back home. You don't need to put aside any particular time or have any fancy equipment, be sat anywhere. Like literally you can do these wherever, like when you're in the bathroom or making a coffee or something like that. And I created them because in my Think Your Best Thoughts webinars, I initially wanted to introduce a method called a wander with wonder, which needs 20 minutes to an hour to do it really. And I was just noticing a lot of the people coming along were feeling like they couldn't find time for that. They're feeling under pressure. So I've created something else that you really don't have any excuse to not do, because I mean, some of them are like less than 60 seconds as well. So let me give you the three options. So the first one is the Just Breathe Nano Break, and it's for as long as it takes to breathe in and breathe out, but we're going to slow it down slightly. So when you breathe in, I want you to imagine that you're filling your belly like a balloon. This is really important because a lot of us are just chest breathing. I hadn't realised I was only really chest breathing until I saw an osteopath after I graduated from Cambridge. And he actually asked me if I'd been in a car accident. Now, I don't know a lot about the body, but he said that I was kind of so tight up here that there were two options. Either I'd been in a car accident and I'd had whiplash, and that was, what had caused all that tightness. Or I had been like consistently chest breathing for a fair amount of time, and it was definitely the second option for me. So I was just very shallow breathing out of anxiety without even realizing it. So he taught me about really breathing down into the diaphragm. So yeah, you can just imagine that you're filling the belly like a balloon. So you're sort of pushing it forward as you breathe in. And as we're doing that, we're trying to keep the shoulders down. We're not kind of tightening up to keep them down, but we're just being conscious that we're not doing this. You're probably a little bit more subtle, yeah? So breathing into the belly for as long as is possible. And then we're just going to have one long, slow breath out. Now, there is a technique for slowing down the out breath so it takes a little longer, and that will really help to calm your nervous system. And it sounds a bit like letting air out of a tire. So it goes like this. Now, I appreciate you might not want to do that in all situations. I've actually just woken up my puppy Pedro while doing that. So you don't have to do that. Yeah, you can just do a slow breath out. And just do one of these at any moment in the day that you can remember. Very, very helpful. And what I really like about it is that once you've remembered to do one, it's very easy to string a few together. And the next thing you know, you're kind of doing a relaxation practice. Perhaps you could even call it meditation. So as we're breathing in and out, one other pointer, just see if you can become aware of what is actually going on in your body. Most of the time you're probably feeling like you're stuck up in your head, probably not got much of a sense of what's going from here downwards. So yeah, just really as you're pushing your belly forward on that in-breath, really noticing what it feels like from the inside. Perhaps you can feel the clothes on your skin, restriction from a waistband, something like that. So that's number one, the Just Breathe Nano Break. Number two is what I call the sunshine meditation. Don't call it meditation if you've already got some kind of visceral aversion to that word. You could call it the sunshine pause. Sometimes it's just a case of shifting the words and working out what marketing our minds need to try something out. So you know what it feels like on like a really, really lovely sunny day. You've got the kind of warm, not on the super hot ones, but like just like pleasantly warm. Yes, you've got the sun kind of coming down, and you can feel it coming down kind of through the crown of your head and onto your face, can't you? So in the sunshine pause, let's call it, we're just trying to imagine that there's a kind of a felt sort of body memory that we have. So when we recall that kind of blue sky and the sun, you probably do feel kind of warmth in your body. Perhaps you feel relaxed. You might even feel joy. You could even imagine, you're doing this in a place you really enjoy, where you do feel relaxed, perhaps on the beach or a local park, somewhere you love going on holiday. And it's there's a split second of just bringing that to mind, and the more frequently you do this, it is easier to take yourself back there. And again, you can do that breathing practice of breathing into your belly and a slow breath out, or you can just imagine the sun. But I quite like sort of stacking these or blending them onto each other. So once you've got the Just Breathe Nano-Break down, then you can imagine bringing in the sun. So I really like that one. And just imagine as you're like breathing in, you're just filling your body with that sunshine. And as you're breathing out, you're just releasing tension. It's just melting down into the ground. So that's number 2. So let's go on to the third one. I'm not really one for like little mottos and slogans and things like that. If they feel a little bit cheesy, like I'm not really into the manifesty stuff and things like that either, like some schools around that. But I do think it can be really helpful to have some kind of phrase that you remind yourself with that feels like it works for you. And I've had one over the years that I often come back to, which is, I have everything I need. And I really like that. Other ones I've had are everything is okay. Or sometimes I just have I love you, and that feels like it fits really nicely. Again, I feel like if someone tells you you have to tell yourself I love you, it can just feel a little bit like cringy and like, I don't know, insincere, or a bit like just that kind of like Instagrammy hashtag live your best life. And sometimes you're just not feeling it. So yeah, it's really important to choose a phrase. And again, you don't have to do the breathing practices, but you could just have a moment to pause and just tell yourself that. So perhaps you're about to write a sensitive email, go into a challenging meeting, maybe even just walk into the door at home, and you could just catch yourself and tell yourself that little phrase and then go on. Or, as I've been suggesting with the sunshine pause, you could stack these little pauses. So you could breathe in and out of your belly, imagine the sun coming into your skin, and then have that little moment of whatever phrase you want to use. So again, for me, I have everything I need. There you go, there's 3 little options for you. You combine them all together if you want. And the trick is really just to remember them. Yeah, I think that is the hardest thing. So in the next video, we're going to be talking about how you can help yourself remember to do these useful little things like this. It's much better, I think, to have a plan that will actually work than tell yourself, oh, this week I'm going to start doing like 40 minutes of meditation a day, and then you're not going to do it. Yeah, let's start small, effective and doable, and then we can build from there. I'll see you in the next video.